Shalom. Today I'd like to invite you to sit with me as we contemplate and explore the wisdom path. In challenging times like these, there's a quest for wisdom. And today I'd like to share a few understandings and also a few practices about wisdom and being open to wisdom. Wisdom is divine. Wisdom is not merely knowledge, information. It is a gift. Proverbs 2 verse 6 says, "Wisdom is a gift from a generous God, and every word he speaks is full of revelation and becomes a fountain of understanding within you." Revelation suggests something about openness. And in the same sense that contemplative practice is about openness, wisdom as spiritual gift is about openness. I'd like to quote from Cynthia Bourgeau, where she says, "Wisdom is not knowing more, but knowing with more of you, knowing deeper." And how might that deeper realize in our lives? So often we rely as a default on rational solutions. We become solution-focused. Analytical thinking becomes our go-to place when we would like access to wisdom. Unfortunately, if we rely on our rational mind only, we will be relying on only our own resources, our own set systems of understanding. We need to go beyond this, open up to insights which are not local, but really divine wisdom. In order to access the path of wisdom, three things might be required. And in this spiritual practice, in our contemplative participation session of today, we would like to explore the three dimensions of love, alignment, and openness. Richard Rose says that the first principle of great spiritual teachers is rather constant. Only love can be entrusted with wisdom or big truth. All other attitudes will murder, mangle, and manipulate truth for their own ego purposes. Humans must first find the unified field of love and then start their thinking and perceiving from that point. In our spiritual practice of today, we will therefore center ourselves around love to start off with. I mentioned alignment. This is an alignment of heart, mind, and body. Only when these three spaces are aligned will we have an openness to the language of wisdom. And then the last of these would be openness if we can succeed in abandoning, in leaving behind, becoming unattached to analytical process, to systematic thinking, to cerebral understanding, and we can remove these filters, these valves, if you want, from the pipeline, the channel of wisdom that wants to infiltrate us, that wants to give us access to divine wisdom. Then we are moving beyond human understanding, human knowledge, information, and then we are opening up to divine wisdom. We are embarking on the path of wisdom. Once again, a quote from Richard Rohr: "Whenever heart, mind, and body are all present and accounted for at the same time, when they're all online in the language of wisdom, we can experience pure presence, a moment of deep inner connection with the pure, gratuitous being of anything and everything." Contemplation, like the wisdom path, is an exercise in openness. So how might this translate into contemplative practice then? Let us just start off by breathing deeply again. Breathing and becoming aware of breath is already an exercise in openness. As we breathe in, we are reminded of the inflowing air. An exercise in openness, therefore. And in this breathing, becoming aware of breath, we also experience a certain calmness. We're coming to rest in being present, being centered, and then let us allow ourselves, as we breathe in, to imagine we're breathing into our hearts. And as we feel the warmth there, we become aware of the love of God. We experience a certain warmth. We identify that as divine love. Next, I would like you once again to hug yourself in a specific way, where you place your right hand on your heart, more or less in your left armpit. Your left hand goes onto your right upper arm. And as you sit like this, embracing yourself like this, just breathe in slowly and deeply until you find a certain peace within yourself, until you feel safe, enfolded with love, perhaps. And now that you're feeling safe, let us once again just surrender that problem with which you come here this morning, that problem that you want wisdom for. Just surrender that. And we're going to be doing that in 3 steps. First of all, if you can just acknowledge it, acknowledge the effect that that problem is having in your life. Perhaps you can experience a certain tightness around your chest, a lump in your throat, a knot in your stomach, a heaviness on your shoulders, spasms in your back. Acknowledge those and identify that as the effect of the problem. Next, the counterintuitive practice of welcoming. Welcome that problem. Welcome it to you this morning. In welcoming it, you become the host. The roles are changed. The problem is no longer the bully, the terrorist, the anarchist. It has become a guest in your house. And now the 3rd step, once you've acknowledged, once you have welcomed, now you can surrender, you can release. And we do this by opening up our hands. And as you release the problem, you feel a certain coolness across the palms of your hands. You're also physically reminded of the problem being surrendered. And then the 3rd step. The 3rd step is centering in love. Once again, breathe in deeply. And as you breathe into your chest, feel the warmth. Name that warmth, love. Become centered in that love. Allow love to become the space to which wisdom will now be entrusted. As we become centered in this love and we breathe in, we might actually feel that we're extending ourselves. As we breathe out, we might actually feel that our lives are expanded. And then, thirdly, we can just settle in this, rest in this. And now that we feel the love in our chest, allow that to flow and fill up your whole body. As you feel your hands becoming warmer, as you feel your feet becoming heavier, warmer, and you realize that you have immersed yourself in love. That you've actually become love. That you have become the space within which wisdom will now be invited. Sit and rest within the love of God. Feel it in your chest. Spread it throughout your whole body. And now, as you have immersed yourself in love, as you have actually become love, now you can ask a question to wisdom. Ask whatever wisdom you require today. Ask about that. And you will actually physically experience a response. You might feel your stomach churning. You might feel a tingling in your palms. But learn how to interpret. Learn to be attentive to the response of wisdom. Let us sit enfolded in love first. Feel the warmth in your chest. Fill yourself up with that warmth. And then ask the question that is bothering you to wisdom now. And note the physical response that you're getting. And now that you've embarked on the path of wisdom, practice that regularly. Allow wisdom to become your guiding light on your daily journey. And please let me know how this works for you. Shalom.